Hi, welcome back. In this video, we're talking about the psychic channel of clairsentience, which means clear feeling or clear sensing. So this means that the angels are speaking to you through what you feel, what you sense, which is amazing because angels are beings of divine love. You've heard me say this before. They're energetic beings. They're not physical beings. They very rarely show up as physical beings. So being clairsentient, being able to sense their presence is very, very powerful. And I find that a lot of clairsentients and empaths turn up in these courses because they've already had experiences of angels, or they just feel so connected to angels because they can sense at a deep level that they are pure love and light. You know, in this duality that we live in our world, we're surrounded by two energies, love and fear, those frequencies, and many sort of different versions of those frequencies. And so for a very sensitive person, if you're sensitive, even a little bit sensitive to emotion, to other people's moods, to energy and atmosphere, then sometimes it can be really, really hard, especially if you're encountering a lot of negativity. I don't know about you, I'm very clairsentient. That's my main primary channel. That, you know, being on social media some days is absolute torture. I just want to unplug and throw my phone away because of the amount of negativity that you can feel. So it makes sense that angels appeal to people who are highly sensitive, and angels help people who are highly sensitive too. They help all of us, but they are great help to highly sensitive, empathic people because they know that you have a hard time dealing with all the energy, balancing your energy and protecting your energy when there is so much fear and negativity around. Now, the angels have told me, and I have noticed this in the last 20 odd years, is that people are becoming more sensitive. More people are becoming more sensitive. And that's for a reason. Sensitivity is a gift. It has for a long time been seen as a weakness. It's been seen as a curse or a burden, especially by those who are sensitive. But it's actually a gift. And the reason that people are becoming more sensitive, children are so sensitive, is because we need a world full of sensitive, intuitive people. A world full of insensitive people whose intuition and psychic senses are turned down or shut means that we create a world full of negativity, full of pollution, full of cruelty. And so part of the shift, the ascension, is that we are creating a world. The divine and the angels are working together with humanity, with our souls, to create a world that is more sensitive, because sensitive people can't be cruel. They can't pollute the atmosphere. They can't be racist, sexist, anti-anything, anti-gay. They are open-hearted, loving, and they do the right thing because their sensitivity couldn't possibly allow them to do otherwise. So angels are speaking to you through your feelings. Many sensitive people have grown up in homes or around people or in schools where people have told them they're too sensitive, they're over emotional, that they need to turn it down to stop being so sensitive. And they've tried to do that. Are you a person that's tried to do that? I did many times when I was younger, for sure. But actually, you start to feel worse if you try to turn off your sensitivity. You're not too sensitive. You're not over emotional. You're just right. You're exactly as a human being needs to be. And what you didn't realize is that your sensitivity is actually an intuitive psychic channel called clairsentience. And when you learn to properly protect your energy, to ground, cleanse, and protect your energy every day, your sensitivity will stop being a burden and you will start to recognize it as the intuitive compass that it was always meant to be. And you can even use your sensitivity to help others, to guide others. Empaths have very open hearts. They may be guarded because of their experiences. They may have tried to close their hearts down, but genuinely, they use the heart chakra. That's where they come from. When the angels are speaking to you, you're sensing the angels, you're sensing their energy and the information through your physical and your emotional feelings. And I would also say through your energy as well. Many highly sensitive people are energetically sensitive. They can sense changes in vibration and frequency through their body and through their emotional feelings. It's like you've got an extra powerful antenna that you use it to scan your environment, scan other people, to pick up on things. But what can happen is that you're not just feeling your own feelings, you're also feeling what other people are feeling, and you can get confused about that. Like, am I picking up on myself or am I picking up on other people? Clairsentient people have repetitive, strong feelings about things, both in your body. So, you know, for a long time, I was a massage therapist and a hands-on energy therapist too. When I put my hands on someone at the beginning of a session with intention and with my energy protected, I would be able to feel in my body where their aches and pains were. And what I would have to do is then go, okay, now that I've acknowledged it, I'm letting it go. And so that I didn't retain that past that moment. It was there to let me know a message. Okay, this person's lower back is sore, or they're having issues with their sciatica, or they're having issues with their knees. And as soon as I knew that, I could let it go because the message was received. But many clairsentient people don't let it go, and they end up with all the aches and pains and the emotional pain of others inside their energy and body, and they don't know what to do with it all. But I'll teach you what to do with it all later. The angels will magnify your feelings to let you know what you need to know. So for instance, if you just meet someone and this person is perhaps not genuine, maybe they are a con man or a con woman, and you might get a tightening of your gut. You might get an instant dislike of that person. You might start to feel sick. You might start to feel really tired and drained around them. And you would have those feelings anyway, but the angels are trying to give you a message, so they're magnifying those feelings to let you know what you need to know. Stay away from that person. So if you think about your feelings, and this is taking it down to the most basic, your feelings as a guide for you, and that's important, that you know that these psychic senses aren't just about everyone else. This is about you. You've got to get it right for you before you get it right for others. Because if you're always reading other people and not listening to yourself, it's kind of like a bypass. And sometimes you'll get things wrong because everything has to come to you through you. So you have to be able to recognize what is an intuitive feeling, what is an intuitive vision, what is an intuitive knowing for yourself. If you don't let it guide you, you can't allow it to guide others. So when clairsentience is guiding you, the most basic core of that is it's guiding you towards what is good for you and away from what is not good for you. So think about eating something. You know, is there something that you eat that you know isn't good for you, that your body doesn't like? And when you eat it, you might enjoy it, but afterwards you go, oh, yuck. Maybe you feel extra tired, maybe you feel sick, maybe your stomach churns, maybe there's a tightness, maybe there's a pain somewhere. It's a no. Your body, your clairsentience through your body, because your body is a finely tuned instrument. It's a vessel for your soul. So it stands to reason that your physical body is part of your intuitive system. And your angels are going to use that system. So you need to tune into it, recognize it. There's many people who don't recognize anything going on beneath the neck. They're all up here in their head and they're not listening to anything down here. You might say, how do you feel when you think about that? And they look at you blankly because they're not feeling. All their attention's up here. But clairsentient people don't have that option. They're always in their body. They can always feel what's going on, unless they've done things to numb out, to disassociate. But we'll get into that later. So if you eat something and you get a feeling, you know that your body is saying no. And it's the same when you meet a person, when you're thinking about going for that job, when you're thinking about joining this course. Do you feel good or do you feel bad? So if you think of your intuition as being like a compass, it's saying go here, don't go here. Leave there, go towards that. It's always guiding you. And of course, you get more detail, and you get much more detail when you're tuning into your angels, because they're going to give you guidance steps. They're going to give you insights. They're going to give you messages. And when it comes to your intuition, your angels are magnifying your existing feelings to make sure that you get it, that you understand what they're saying to you. So you might be thinking right now, okay, I wondered what that was all about. I wondered what that was all about. You know, recently I attended an event and I was about to meet someone that until now I'd only met online. And the first time I met them online, they were very charming, very generous, very it just felt nice. It was a nice energy. But when I finished the time with them, I also felt a little bit like something was missing. Something didn't feel quite, it just felt a little empty. Like the sentiments that they were telling me were not resonating. They weren't hitting me at an emotional level. And when I was due to meet that person, I started to get incredibly anxious. Like, I'm quite an anxious person in some ways. I can be, but never like that. And when I actually met them and I was able to actually connect with them, I realized why I was so anxious, that they were not a nice person at all. So, and I was able to see things that I couldn't see before. So I knew, that this feeling is telling me something. This feeling is so strong. I couldn't ignore that anxiety. And I knew, I just had a feeling, oh gosh, this isn't going to work out how I thought it was going to work out. And sure enough, it didn't. So when you're getting those extra strong feelings, rather than getting annoyed with yourself and saying, oh, why am I doing this? Oh, this is stupid. Don't push it away. It's a message. So the way the angels are speaking to you. Now, when angels are around, you'll feel them. You might feel a touch. Angels very often will, to comfort you. It won't be creepy or scary at all. You might feel a warm touch on your arm, on your back, on your shoulders, maybe a gentle, like a feather-like touch across your hair or across your brow. Air pressure changes. When the angels come in, there's a different frequency. When the angels are doing healing on people, I often get, my ears will pop. I will get that sense of a breeze, heat, air pressure changes, almost like my ears start to, it's not so much popping, it's just you can tell that there's a change in the energy around you, the atmosphere around you. These all happen when angels are around. Sometimes when you invoke angels, especially Archangel Michael, you'll get heat. It will feel like it's rising up from inside of you. You might get a hot face. Archangel Michael carries this incredible heat, so you know he's around. Other times sometimes when I invoke the 4 directions, the archangels of the 4 directions, a breeze will come up. Sometimes when spirit comes in, a deceased loved one or someone that has crossed over, a breeze will come up. I was at a concert the other day and the person sang a song in tribute to someone that had recently passed, an Aboriginal man called Archie Roach. And the day was hot, the air was still. And then when he started singing his song, the breeze, just for a few minutes, and then it dissipated. And I was like, there he comes. He dropped in. That's when the angels are around. So you'll get these sensations. You might get goosebumps. You might get tears. Often people cry. When I used to have clients to my home, often people would cry when they walked in the door. They just go, I don't know what's wrong with me. And it's like, it's the angels. They make us cry. It's the love. It's a release. They help you to release. Feeling your gut tighten, your jaw clench, your throat block. Maybe when you're talking about a certain situation or person, or when you're around a certain situation or person, or when you're about to walk into the office, or when you're about to walk into a certain place. Trust those feelings. What are they telling you? Is there anxiety? Is there tension? Is there something that you need to know? Do you need to stop talking about that thing? Is that why your throat is shutting up? Feeling the physical or emotional pain of others. So many clairsentient people, empaths, pick up on the pain of other people. So you might be having a conversation with someone. It might not be a healing or anything. You're just having a conversation. And then you start thinking, God, I feel exhausted. Or God, and it might not be that that person's draining you. It might be that that person is exhausted. I used to have a client come to my house, and every time she was with me, I felt like I could go to sleep. And it was because she was going through such chronic health issues. She was tired all the time. And I even used to feel tired before she came. It was like a preview. And so I would always make sure the angels kept shielding my energy, and I'd make the intention not to take it on. So you might be picking up on the emotional pain of people. Maybe you're talking to a family member and you feel really depressed. You may be picking up on their energy. Sensing the emotional atmosphere of a room or a location. You might walk in a room and you think, oh, feels like something's going to happen, feels like an argument. This is clairsentient signs and messages. Sensing whether or not someone is a good person to be with or not. Sometimes we can forget, we might meet someone and go, oh, I love their outfit, I love their eyes, I love, but you're looking at the mask, you're not looking behind what's going on behind. And their words and actions, or just the sense you get of them, might not fit what they look like or what they're saying. And that's okay. You've got to trust it. So the angels will magnify these feelings, and where these things come in handy is like you're giving yourself or someone else a card reading. Maybe you get a feeling that comes over you when you read that card. It might be a feeling of relief, a feeling of great joy, a feeling of gratitude, a feeling of peace. That's one thing when the angels are around. When they give you a message, even if it's a warning, it comes with peace, and it's their signature. It's true angel message because you feel complete calm and peace when it comes. Everything's going to be all right. You might be talking to a friend or a client, giving them a card reading, and you get a sudden pain in your back, and you go, do you have a pain in your back? You need to say that, because if you didn't have that pain before you were doing the reading for them, then it's not yours. I always say that everything that I think, feel, pick up on, and see or hear in a reading is about the reading. It's not about me. If I have sat down with the intention of giving a reading to someone for half hour, an hour, everything that happens in that reading is about them. Of course, if I start the reading, which I never would, with a headache, if I had a headache, I would postpone the reading so I gave my best self to that person. But if I already had a backache before I started the reading, and that backache continued throughout the reading, I wouldn't assume it was the other person's. But if it comes out of nowhere, it comes out of the blue in that time, if the reading is over, it's not about them. Sometimes I do get a preview of people that I'm working with. I have to admit that. I can sometimes get a preview of their emotion or a preview of their feeling. And that comes after years and years of doing this work. But mostly within the segment, the time dedicated to that reading. If you're still reading someone hours after you have finished reading for them, that's unethical. You need to cut the cord. If I'm giving you an hour, you get an hour, no more. If I'm giving you half an hour, you get half an hour. If it goes over a little bit, I'm still sitting there with you, that's fine. But if you've walked out the door and the reading is finished, I'm not still reading you later. That is wrong. It's unethical. It's draining. It's unhealthy. So you've got to make sure to cut the cord at the end of a reading. A little bit of extra info there. So what are the blocks to clairsentience? Sorry about the screen. That E is out of order. Being told that you're oversensitive. Were you told you're oversensitive to emotional? Are you being told that now, or were you being told it? That can cause you to try and shut down your clairsentience, but it also teaches you to not value it. It teaches you to think it's worthless, that it's wrong, it's weak, it's stupid. And it's not. It's a very valid psychic channel. There are I know many famous professional psychics who are clairsentient. There's none of these clairs are more important or better than the others. A lot of people say, I want to be clairvoyant, but I'm clairsentient. You can develop clairvoyance, but it doesn't mean your clairsentience isn't worthwhile. It's very worthwhile. Overriding or dismissing your true feelings. How many times have you put other people's feelings before your own? How many times have you said, oh, it's just a feeling? I could have done that with that anxiety. In fact, had I had the option to cancel the situation that time I had anxiety about meeting this person at an event, I would have cancelled it. But I was obligated to go for other reasons. But the feeling was so strong, and I knew my angels were protecting me, so I was going to be okay. So don't dismiss your feelings. Overriding and continually dismissing your true feelings, it's like you're putting a gag over yourself, over your intuition, and a gag over your angels. Your feelings are valid, especially your repetitive, strong feelings. Your repetitive, strong feelings. If you keep getting that feeling, it's telling you something, and you need to. Very often, clairsentience will get a knowing about the message, but you need to sit with it and say, okay, what is this telling me? If I could give this feeling words, what would I say? Be honest with yourself. It's one of the hardest things to do. One of the major blocks is absorbing and carrying the energy of others. Do you remember how I told you you can absorb, you can feel people's pain emotionally and physically? Well, many clairsentients, empaths, actually absorb that pain. And that gets really confusing. You start to not know what's yours and what's other people's. You start to be feeling way too much, and you're carrying everyone else's energy within you. You were never meant to do that. That's not what clairsentience or empathy is for. You have to learn to properly shield your energy, protect your energy, so that you're not carrying the energy of others. If you feel something that someone else is, whether knowingly or unknowingly, you need to let it go. Thank you, angels. I get the message. Now I'm releasing it. It's not your job to carry the pain, physically or otherwise, of others. Healers do not suck the pain of others into their body. We send it to the light for transmutation. That's not your job. If you've ever thought it was, you need to change that thinking right now. So absorbing and carrying the energy of others can be like automatic default for many empaths. You just have such a big heart. You're compassionate. You want to heal people. You just sort of subconsciously go, here, give me that. I'll take it. But then you start to feel bad. You get the backache. You get the depression. You get the anxiety. You get the stress. And you haven't actually fixed anything. You've just doubled the problem. So you need to say, angels, take this from me. You need to do some healing. And I've got plenty of meditations and healings in this course for you to be able to do that. And we'll talk a lot about shielding and protecting, cleansing and grounding your energy. If you're feeling like this today, go over and use the Protect, Ground, Clear meditation that's in the meditations, and start to use that daily to clear your energy out and protect. Obviously, if you're carrying a lot of other people's energy in your field, you're going to get really mixed and muffled messages. Your clairsentience isn't going to be clear because you're already carrying too much. It's like stuffing your ears with cotton wool. You're not going to hear anything, right? Because it's got to get through that layer. So that's a block for clairsentience. You need to clear it. I am no longer carrying the pain of others. I release all the pain that I'm already holding on to, and I transmute it to the light with the help of Archangel Michael. May the energy from here on in come to help people come from the divine source, and may all the energy that people release in my presence go back up to source to be transmuted and not stay with me. That's my prayer every single day because I used to do that. And I do sometimes accidentally do it. But shielding every day really takes care of that. Overgiving and putting everyone else first means you're drained. And if you're drained, your psychic system can't work properly. You're too exhausted. There's no energy there. So you've got to stop allowing people to drain you, and always putting everyone else first. You have to put your own oxygen mask on first before you put anyone else's on. Otherwise, you're no good to anyone. If you are exhausted, drained, burnt out, fed up, you're going to be resentful. You're going to be carrying a lot of guilt. And you're also going to have no energy left to share with others eventually. So you have to stop that. And that prayer I just told you will show you how. Will help with that a lot. The energy for this, may it come from the source, not from my energy. If you're giving to others, don't give of yourself. Give from the source. Allow it to flow through you. Almost like, there's a channel coming in through your crown chakra and it goes out. You're giving infinite energy away, not your life force energy away. And if you're giving when you're tired and you're feeling resentful about it, that's a sign. That's a clairsentient sign. Your feeling of resentment is letting you know what you should really be doing, right? Fears about feeling too much. If I open my psychic channels, am I going to become even more sensitive? Yes, you are. But you're also going to have the tools to be able to not carry so much and to not pick up on everybody's energy. Lots of clairsentient people have such big energy, it's like a trawler net. Imagine a trawler net in the ocean. What does that do? It drags and it picks up on everything, the things it wants and the things it doesn't want. Many empaths and clairsentients are too open. And that means that you're picking up on Joe Blogs down the road, all the people that are standing behind you in the supermarket queue, all the people you're scrolling on their Instagrams. You don't need that. That's not a joy. That's not what you're here to do. That's not what your clairsentience is here for. Let go of your guilt and pull your energy in. And then you'll focus. Your messages will be so crystal clear because you're not picking up on it's like having 10 radios going at the same time. It's too noisy in there. So pull your energy in. Your energy field should be no more than sort of an arm's width. Spread your arms out in front of you, above you, either side, behind. That's how big your energy should be. You can pull it in a bit more. It can be around here if you like. That's still healthy. And that will stop you picking up on everything and everyone. And also absorbing everything and everyone's energy. Numbing out through diet or lifestyle, being really sensitive can be painful sometimes, especially if you've had a lot of toxic people in your life, or you've just been around a lot of people who are suffering, or you were in a household that was unhappy, or you just got a big energy and you're absorbing everything. It's painful. So then that can lead you to think, right, I'm going to do something I've got to shut down this pain. So drugs, alcohol, habits, addictions, doom scrolling doesn't help at all. But anything that's addictive, you're doing it because you're trying to shut down. Also disassociating, just being completely ungrounded, floating above your body somewhere in la la land, actually makes it worse. You might think temporarily you feel okay, but actually when you're out of your body that way, when you're disassociated, you're much more vulnerable to negative energy coming in. And also bad people who want to take advantage of you because they see that your boundaries aren't strong. So these are the blocks to clairsentience, and don't worry, we're going to heal all of this. So developing and strengthening your clairsentience is going to serve you, dear empath, so well. I'm so glad that you're here. Journaling your repetitive strong feelings and what you think they mean. If you don't know what they mean, that's okay. Journal them anyway, because you'll start to see a pattern. You'll be like, okay, I was feeling that yesterday and I'm feeling that again today. What's going on? Every time I meet that person, I feel like this. Every time I walk away from that person, I feel sick. Every time I walk into my workplace, and that's one of the blocks, is that clairsentience can be really good at just kind of second guessing their feelings. They just go, oh, well, my feelings don't matter. I keep feeling this thing, but nah, that can't be right. Or you say things like, I just met a person and I got a really bad feeling off them and I don't like them. Oh God, I must be an awful person. Oh, I'm a horrible person. I shouldn't be thinking like this. Everybody is a divine soul. How could I think like that? I don't want to be judgmental. And then you just push all of that away. And then 6 months later, you realize why you were feeling what you were feeling. So I've done that a few times, especially in my love life. I don't mind admitting that because it's all part of the process, right? We've got to be authentic. I've always wanted to see the best in people and ignored the red flags. And yet I can say that my feelings were always telling me about those red flags long before I acknowledged them. So as we open your clairsentience, you're starting to acknowledge your feelings and recognize that they are giving you a message. See your sensitivity, your empathy, and your clairsentience as a gift, not a burden. That will really help you because you'll stop subconsciously pushing it away and thinking, God, I wish I could be different. You're not different. You're like this for a reason. This has been given to you as a gift. It's part of your purpose. Affirm, it is safe for me to trust my feelings. I'm profoundly clairsentient. It is safe for me to trust my feelings. Write that down every day. Say it. Put it somewhere where you can see it. In your wallet, on your computer. Put it on a sticky pad and write that down. Say it as often as you can. Protect, ground, and cleanse your energy daily. And pull your energy in too if you've got a big energy. You'll know intuitively when I said that, you'd be like, oh, I've got a big energy. Protect, ground, and cleanse your energy daily. Work on your heart chakra, clearing old wounds, old traumas, old heartaches and heartbreaks. We have a whole segment, a video and an audio and a PDF about the chakras. I would love you to read that because your chakras are your psychic channels. They're like the batteries for your psychic channels. When they are clean and clear and energized, your psychic system works beautifully. So chakras and clairs closely linked. So obviously, if you're clairvoyance, it's your brow and your crown chakra. Crown chakra is part of all of them. If you're clairsentient, it's your heart and your crown. You still need your third eye. You can't just have one chakra open and go, I'm going to be intuitive and psychic and communicate with angels. You need all of them. So your heart chakra is for you, the clairsentience. Pray every day that the energies of others are transmuted to the light. So if you come across, you're talking to someone who's in pain, or you're sitting next to someone who's in pain, or you're getting these random aches and pains, angels, please be with me today. Shield my energy. Let the energy for everyone I meet today come from the divine source and not from my energy, so that I am not drained. And please let every piece of pain energy that I come into contact with today, emotionally, physically, energetically, be immediately transmuted to the light and healed rather than remaining in my energy. I don't want to take it on. Thank you, angels. And then put your shield of light around you. I like to see myself in a purple bubble of light. That purple light is so strong against psychic energy. I will put that prayer in this section so that you can print it out. And finally, I teach this in all of my courses. Care, don't carry. It's a good mantra to have. I care, but I don't carry. I support, but I don't save people. When I'm meeting someone for a healing, I'm not saying, oh, give me that pain. I'm going to carry that for you. Oh, let me do it for you. Oh, let me ring your mama and tell her off for you. Let me ring your husband and tell him he's doing the wrong thing. No, that's unhealthy for everyone. I say, let the energy for this come from God, the source, and not from my energy. Let the angels support this person. I might give guidance. I'll give advice. I'll tell them what the angels are telling them, but there's no way I'm carrying that stuff. And at the end of every session, I say, when the person is gone, I say, I love you and I let you go. I don't want to be thinking about that person when I'm cooking my dinner later on. I don't want to be thinking about them on my afternoon walk. I'm for them 100% during their session, and afterwards, I'm in my own energy. I'm not carrying that stuff with me. And that's what I want for you too, whether it be your loved ones, your friends, your partner. Care, don't carry. We need to break this toxic habit that so many people are carrying with them. So are you a clairsentient? Have you been pushing that one away? I tell you, I did for a long time. I didn't realize that clairsentience was my primary psychic intuitive channel. And when I did recognize it, and I started to notice how many times the angels were speaking to me that way. The angels, when they appear, sometimes they just appear as an energy, and you can feel them. And within that feeling is the message, is what they're giving you, is the healing. You don't sometimes need words. You just know it. You just know it. So it's like a message comes in with the feeling. And the more you practice, the easier that will become for you. And you already know. It's only your fear, your self-doubt that stops you from knowing. All right, I'm excited to talk to you in the next session, which is, I think this one's about claircognizance. See you in the next video.